A mother and father whose lives have been torn apart tried to find solace in others today at school number 4 in Rochester. About 100 members of the community showed up to honor Shantavia Williams. Her family describes her as a bright and happy girl that was to attend 6th grade here in the fall.
I'm gonna go through this.
Shantavia was killed in a horrible accident just last Friday when her father ran her over while backing out of a driveway. Family members urged each other to stay strong in these desperate times.
It's like one of the worst things I ever had to deal with. I'm trying to be strong too, and I know we got to be strong for the parents and for the sisters and brothers.
Remember, this is not the last time you need to be together. This family gonna need you after this. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they're gonna need you.
Amidst the tears and prayers, the school's assistant principal spoke to the family to offer her memories of a life taken too soon.
She was a wonderful young lady. She had a lot of spirit, and I think we should celebrate her life because she did make her mark here at School 4, and I will always carry that in my heart.
In Rochester, Tina Shively, News 8.
It was an emotional return to the court for the Churchville Chili basketball team. Dijon Pratt's number 25 jersey and Marcus Blyther's number 23 were right there with their teammates and coaches.
We wanted to feel like they were with us just like they were before, and it was just good to honor them like that. It was real nice to have them sitting by us.
Among the sold-out crowd were members of the Pratt and Blyther's families. As a show of support, the Greece Arcadia players presented Pratt's brother Didi with a special ball and his mother Shonda with a signed T-shirt.
I want to thank everybody for the continuous outpouring support for my baby. It's been just so helpful.
Shonda says Dijon and Marcus were the best of friends, and the accident has only strengthened the bond between the families. She wants to help Marcus recover.
You know, we talked about it, and I'm going to be there to work with him through it, because I don't ever want him to think that he was at all at fault.
Once the ball went up, the Saints gave everyone a reason to cheer, leading most of the first half.
Yeah, it felt good. To hear the crowd, this whole community here to support us, it was real nice.
In the second half, Arcadia took control of the game and won. But for a night, tragedy was replaced by celebration.
The outpouring of support from coaches, families, the entire community has been quite overwhelming, to be honest, and awesome.
It just made me so proud, and even to see everybody walking around in orange, that my son touched so many people that I didn't even know this. So it makes me very, very proud as a mother.
The storm ripped through Seneca County around 1:30 this afternoon. Amazingly, no one was killed or injured, but the damage was extensive.
I'm really shocked that there are minimally some people injured the way that storm came through.
Seneca Falls took the brunt of the storm's damage. Trees knocked down numerous power lines, shutting off streetlights, service to residential homes, and closing off roads. All challenges for the first responders.
Just to get into the worst area was a problem because there was issues to be taken care of before they even got there.
Just a few miles away in Fayette, the roof on Carl Nolt's barn was blown clear off, landing some 75 yards away in a field. He took it in stride, saying fellow members of the Waterloo Mennonite Church will help him rebuild.
We have to decide what we want to do, what's the next step to do. Tear the rest of the roof off, and put trusses up and put tin up. I don't know.
All along Route 96, tree branches were scattered. Len Hornung and his wife came home to find some of the heaviest damage in their backyard.
It really surprised us when we came up over the hills. Oh my God, look at that.
The Hornungs' home, where they've lived for 44 years, was spared, and so were they.
I'll trade a downed tree for life anytime.
At the height of the storm, the county 911 center was flooded with calls, but sheriff's deputies only responded to 5 minor accidents. The Red Cross set up a relief center at Waterloo High School, but 2 hours after it opened, no one had come, a sign most were spared the storm's full fury.
We're just very fortunate it didn't involve serious personal injury. Very fortunate.
It's expected the National Weather Service will come to assess whether this damage was caused by a tornado or a microburst. We'll learn more about that in the morning. In Seneca Falls, Mark Ruba, News 8.
I ran outside and and sure enough, like the whole back side of the building was on fire. It's pretty crazy.
It was a very difficult fire, and not because there was so much fire, mostly because of where the fire was.
The fire was concentrated on the 2nd and 3rd floors, complicated by the fact the back stairway was burned out.
We ended up having to cut a hole in the back floor and going up through on a ground ladder, and we actually made entry through the attic window off one of the aerial ladders.
3 firefighters were injured, 1 suffering a broken leg. All were treated and released. A resident was also treated for smoke inhalation. 1 of 3 tenants displaced. 10 people in the adjacent house were also startled by the 3 a.m. fire.
The cat waking me up and everybody else screaming, the firemen knocking on the door, get out. That's pretty much it.
My cousin was asleep inside the house, so I ran in, woke him up, grabbed whatever we needed out of there and got him out.
Jack Wesley's lived in Shortsville for 3 years. He has a campsite about a quarter of a mile behind his house, but you'd never know because it's underwater.
That's a 4-foot hill right there that you can see. That water's coming right up over that hill.
The watercolor changes from light to dark, and that's where the drop-off is. There are trails on the other side. Jack visits that campsite almost every day when it's dry.
And I can't do the things that I like to do, you know. I'm disabled now, and I like to get down there and go fishing and, you know, camp out and things like that, you know, and I can't do any of that.
His neighbor, George Rex, has lived next door for more than 20 years without a problem.
This is the first time it's been real bad.
The creek behind their property is what's causing the flood. Just up the road, the water's racing. But the start of the problem is even further away. And all of that excess water is coming from right here, a lock on Canandaigua Lake more than 7 miles away. The Canandaigua Public Works Department drains the lake when it gets too high. Right now, the lake's 2 feet above flood level because of April's record rain. The water's racing through the locks faster than Jack's backyard can handle.
It's kind of hard. I can't even get back here to clean anything up.
Jack says he's raised his concerns to the Canandaigua Public Works office, but they told him all he can do is wait. So for now, he'll continue cleaning up his yard bit by bit until the water recedes back to normal.
Sheriff's deputies here on Irondequoit Bay are now telling me they're treating the search effort as a recovery mission. Just after 5:30 tonight, 3 people in a boat about 200 yards offshore in Lake Ontario made a desperate distress call.
A friend of theirs was swimming in the lake, appeared to be in distress. Unfortunately, reportedly went underwater and failed to surface.
Another person also in the water was able to climb back aboard. The friends told officers the 22-year-old missing man was not wearing a life preserver when he went under.
They threw some items in to pull him into the boat, and then they went back for the other friend, and unfortunately were not able to get to him in time.
Tonight's wet and wild weather made the mission difficult for boats from the Coast Guard, West Webster Fire Department, and Monroe County Sheriff's Department. Rescue boats did have to come in for a short time, but were able to deploy a side-scan sonar device to search the area where the man disappeared.
The side scan provides a picture underwater, and then we come back and we review that and determine, if we can, what that target was, and then we go back to that area again. And if it's necessary, we'll dive in that spot.
Now we are told that shifts from the Coast Guard, the West Webster Fire Department, and the Sheriff's Department will be back out here to search once again as early as 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. On Irondequoit Bay, Tina Shively, Fox First at 10.
This is the day Mercy Jr. Emma Falk has been working toward.
Miss Moxie yourself, number 3, Emma Falk.
I'm so excited to come out and play again with my team for an awesome cause.
Everything was orange, the color for leukemia, as Mercy and Mendon took the diamond to help strike out cancer.
This is the moment I've been waiting for months and months and months to come, and it's finally here. It just feels so good.
Emma was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in 6th grade. She fought to beat that, then was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia last July. Her younger sister Aiden, a Mercy sophomore, donated bone marrow to Emma.
I wanted to do something for my sister, and that was the thing to do. So it just made me be able to do something finally.
She's my lifesaver.
Emma threw out the game's first pitch to Aiden. For their parents, after months of uncertainty and sacrifice, This was a celebration.
You can't help but tear up a little bit when you see her out there.
And we've been looking forward to this day, coming out to play ball since July. That was the goal all along with Emma, to get her back for softball season.
Dig, 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 dig. Mercy coach Chuck Shortino says Emma has been a steady presence in center field and at the plate. Her comeback has inspired her teammates.
She has taught them how to be a fighter, to never quit.
As fans chipped in to raise money for the Ronald McDonald House and Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Emma was inspiring another comeback. Trailing 6-0 in the third inning, Mercy rallied for 8 runs, including a 2-run homer from Aiden, to pull out the victory. The perfect ending for Emma, her family, and friends.
The support has been absolutely incredible. I cannot thank everyone enough.